Hi everyone, it's Coach Ronald from HPLO Fitness. So today I have a completely different video for you. Alright, so earlier this evening I did a firmware update for this Panasonic GH6. So let me show you some things that came with the update. I'll be right back. I'll go into the video modes and show you what happened with ProRes. Alright, I'm back. So with the update, here's the new modes that got in there. So 5.7K 30 is still there. 1.9 gigabits per second. Same thing. 1.3 gigabits per second. 1.5 gigabits per second. 1 gigabit per second. Now they added cinematic 4K at 60 frames per second at 1.9 gigabits per second. Alright, this is the only one that you can shoot 60 frames per second in 4K. Unfortunately, that was the update. Actually, there's one more. My bad. One more. 1.3 gigabits per second, 4K 60 in cinematic mode. (4K 30), 972 megabits per second, 648 megabits per second, 24 frames per second at 778 megabits per second. 519 megabits per second. Alright. 1080p 60 at 454 megabits per second. Sweet. (302 megabits per second. Nice. Probably could get away with a V90 SD card that does 300 megabits per second on it with ProRes on this guy. Okay, 227 megabits per second at 1080p 30, 151 megabits per second. Same thing. Nice. And get away with the SD card I have right now in this camera, 128 gigabyte card that does only 200 megabits per second. Maybe you can get away with that and do vlogs with it. Sweet. 181 megabits per second at 24 frames. And 121 frames, 121 megabits per second at 24 frames per second at 1080p. Alright, that's what was in the update in terms of the video modes in ProRes. Alright, I'll be back. I'll tell you something that's even better. Hey, I'm back. This is huge right here with this update. Now, you can record off those SSDs for that you use on the computer to transfer files and edit videos and things like that. Now, on this camera, this is huge. You can now shoot videos using the SSD. Sweet. Now, you basically can get away with not having a CF Express card. This is a big deal, because now you get to save some money. Because since I saw on Amazon today, you can get a 2 terabyte SSD, a really good one, for about $250. A 2 terabyte one. Well, those CF Express cards, the 128 gigabyte ones, They cost $200. Ridiculous. So this is big right here. All right, I'm gonna plug in the SSD and show you, and I'm gonna show it to you right now if it works or not. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. So check this out. I just plugged in the SSD. This is an old SSD I got back in 2018. A 250 gigabyte SSD drive, and it works because it supports it. This camera supports this particular SSD. This is the 3.1 USB-C Gen 1 SSD drive, and it'll work. So this drive will do 500 megabits per second read and write speeds. Well, it can do some of the ProRes. It will definitely be able to do that 5.7K 60 frames per second I was talking about in that camera review video. So I essentially unlocked that ability to do that recording if I want to. Sweet. Now, basically, I get to skip out on, I really just can skip out on those CF Express cards and use this instead. It'll do the same thing. Instead of it writing into the camera and the camera gets a little bit hotter, it writes to this guy and it keeps the heat away from the camera. Nice. Camera will last a little bit longer, and I'll have it for many years to come. All right, so that was it in terms of the updates that I did to this camera today. All right, I will see you with more workouts and more content. All right, have a great night, everyone. Take care, stay safe. See you on the next episode, and see you on the next workouts.